Hi everyone. Welcome to today's video titled 5 Tips for Your Resume or CV as a web developer looking for a job and how to stand out. So, in this video, you learn what relevant skills to highlight on your resume or CV. You'll also learn about showcasing your portfolio and what works to put on there and where to showcase it. You learn about quantifying your achievements using numbers. Okay, and you'll also learn the importance of using keywords in your resume and how to stand out from the crowd. You'll also learn how best to design your resume or CV. So, my name is Cheryl. I'm a HR professional, a coach, and a therapist, and I've been coaching professionals and graduates how to polish their CVs and resumes for several years. So, how to write an awesome resume? A resume is what stands between you and your dream job at your dream organization. Okay? It's the first impression you make to your next potential employer. So make sure your resume game is strong. Okay? They say first impressions count. Yes, in this case they really do. Your resume, your CV is the first impression a potential employer gets about you. So it's really important that you do your best to make yourself stand out. Okay? And we'll show you how to do that. Or we'll give you a few tips on how best to anyway. So the first thing you should do is tailor your resume to every job application that you get. Okay, it's important to customize your resume or your CV to each job application, right? So you emphasize the matching skills to the job description, the tools, the keywords, etc. If the job, for example, calls for React, make sure it's prominent around in your resume or in your CV. Okay, make sure your CV highlights those specific skills, those specific traits that have been highlighted in the job description. Building a strong portfolio. This is really important to have an online portfolio or a GitHub profile to showcase your best work. All right, this allows people an all one access area essentially to be able to view the work you've done so they're able to gauge your level of expertise. Okay, ensure that you include code samples, links to live projects, and brief descriptions for each so that people are also able to understand exactly what it is you're doing, what you wish to do, and your goals for the projects, right? Emphasize recent and relevant projects as well. So, your technical skills. I mean, these should be highlighted very specifically, as I said, on your CV or your resume. For example, highlight a mix of technical, both if you have, for example, JavaScript or CSS or frameworks, highlight a mix of those. Okay, your technical skills, as well as do not leave out your soft skills. These are equally important because they let your potential employer know whether you're good with working in teams, whether you are trainable, etc., how good your communication is. Okay, so both soft skills and technical skills are equally important. All right, the technical skills show that you have the knowledge to actually do the work you need to do once you're in that role. And soft skills are essential for working within teams, um, working with clients, etc. Okay, so they're both just as important. So we briefly mentioned keywords, yeah. These are really important because they matching keywords from the job description to get past applicant tracking system give you a greater chance at being noticed. Okay, so for example, if a job description highlights React or front end development or back end development, ensure that you have these keywords in, let's say, your cover letter and also in your CV. Okay? That way, the ATS, the applicant tracking system, is able to pick up your application, and that way you get your foot in the door and you get that interview. Hopefully. Okay? Also, know the job details. Familiarize yourself with the job description. You know what the day to day tasks will entail as you ready yourself for the interview. It's really important that once you do get there, you're comfortable about what you're talking about. You're also displaying your level of research to the employer and your interest. Quantifying your experience. Yeah. So essentially, you also want to show your real world experience to the interview panel. Okay, so it's good if you're able to demonstrate how your work, the work that you've done or are doing, has made an impact. Has made an impact where you're working or in the world in general, and how. So you quantify where possible. Okay, so for example, if you've managed to increase the speed of a website, that's great, but to what degree? Okay, employers want to know what percentage you were able to increase the speed by, and what this led to. What was the result of that improvement that you made? So focus on your contributions to past projects, and also it's good to highlight your what it is you want to do, your goals for the future. So preparing for technical interviews, this is really important, okay? Because you don't want to say, for example, that you know how to do various things on your CV, and then when it comes to the technical interview, you are stumped at what to say, you're confused, or you really don't know what you're talking about because essentially you may have lied. You will get caught up on this. Okay, so it's essential that you brush up on your coding fundamentals if you need to, on your algorithms, and also the common frameworks used. All right, practice coding challenges and be ready to discuss past projects in depth, because trust me, if it's a technical interview, they will have technical um, panelists at the interview. Okay, so ensure that you do this as you're working on your CV and on your cover letter. Brush up on it so it's second nature and you really know what you're talking about. Okay, highlighting the importance of understanding core web development principles. I mean, these, if they're the core web principles, then you really do need to know them. Okay, because they're the building blocks. Now, designing your resume or your CV. Yeah, it's best. It's really just best practice to keep it clean, keep it simple. Okay. The urge sometimes is to use lots of different elements, lots of colors, make it look really pretty. But a recruiter doesn't have a really long time to look at your application. So if you make it simple, clean, easy to read, use your white space intelligently, use simple fonts and be consistent in your formatting, then it becomes a pleasure to look at your CV. If it's really well arranged, you're using great English, it's interesting. Yeah, those are all good ways at improving how you write your CV. Okay? Ensure also that your spelling and your grammar doesn't have any errors. So, recruiters essentially want to know, are you trainable? Okay. Sometimes you may not have all the specific skills listed on a job listing, but if after having spoken to you at an interview, they're able to deduce that you actually are trainable, they can train you on something, teach you it, and you learn it and you're able to implement it and perhaps even teach other people, then that's a plus, plus, plus. And that's a really marketable skill to have, to be trainable and be open to being trained. Okay, another one is, are you trustworthy? Okay, because within this industry sometimes you're dealing with really sensitive information and your employer wants to know, are you going to take advantage of this, or are you going to you know adhere to the confidentiality that's required to do the work. Okay. Trustworthiness is also really useful when it comes to working within teams, with people. It's important that people know that they can trust you. Okay. teams just work better that way. We're human beings. We need to know that we can somewhat trust each other, even if not 100%. Yeah, we can to some degree. Okay. Now, are you a good communicator? Think about it. Your technical skills may be really, really good, but are you able to communicate the skills that you have? Are you able to perhaps train other people? It's important if you're not to improve on this skill. Okay. So essentially, on your CV, on your resume, find ways to demonstrate these traits. Okay. So, including a professional summary. Some people opt to not have a professional summary. For example, if you're, let's say, an entry level candidate, you may not have much experience. Therefore, you don't really have much to write in terms of a professional summary. And that's fine. You can leave that out. Your resume or CV can just be a page long, very succinct, very to the point, very clear. Okay. But other people may opt to have one because they have a lot more extensive experience and they feel this one summary that has objective statements does, explain to their potential employer who they are, what they want to do, what they're able to do in a quick way before they delve deeper into the resume. Okay, so it's for you to decide. Essentially, it's a marketing, it's like an elevator pitch. Okay, an elevator pitch to potential employers. Thank you so much for watching. For further updates, please remember to subscribe to SM Software. Have a good day.